Hello everybody, welcome back. We have another Diamond Cap VOD review today. They said, hey guys, I'm learning Cap. After playing most of the dive roster, every match feels like I'm fighting half of their team, and then my team loses the fight and I get flamed. I had a game tonight that I feel like I created tons of space, but my team just kept losing 3v1s and trash talked me all match. I rewatched the VODs to see if it really was my fault, and I honestly crashed out. From my perspective, any space that was gained was either gained by me or because my team sat on cart and let the enemy team beat the shit out of me. Yo, Auntie. Thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing great. Let's see. Anyone mind doing a VOD review to see if maybe I'm missing something? Yeah, perfect. So let's get into it. I love Cap. Cap VODs. Cap is a really difficult character. I think you're already on the right track of how you make space. So let's see if it doesn't work. What's up, Auntie? Did you post that aliens picture because of my hair? Because that was really funny. Yeah, I'm already seeing some micro problems here. The way you want to do that. Nice, good stuff, Auntie. So the way you want to engage with Cap is you want to jump up just like you did. This is perfect. Then you want to actually do your shield throw, your E. This is only on a, I think, 6-second cooldown now. So if you engage with it, by the time you leave, you can usually have it again to throw on your way out to maybe get a kill or keep visible or things like that. So you want to jump in the air like this. You want to do your shield throw, and then immediately after you do your shield throw, you activate your diving strike. And so what this does is it takes a giant chunk out of, a big chunk of damage out of the enemy person's health before, like, as you arrive. And so that will get a ton of attention and it will do a ton of damage. So because we don't do that, when we land, look how little damage we actually do. Like, watch this from the Luna's perspective. Watch her health bar. We do like 70 damage. It's just, you're not really that much of a threat. So we don't jump in right away correctly. Also, both of our supports have already died at this point. And so with Cap, one of the most important things you can do is, because you're a tank and you're making your team fight 5v6 already because you're around the corner, right? You have to stage properly. That's one of the best things you can do. So as Cap, what you want to do, I like how we're taking this angle. This is fine. I think this is probably too far. I think coming here is great because of how we engage. Like I said, you do your shield throw and you slam on top of them. So starting here is great. You don't want to go too far and take too much time, or else, you know, your other support will die. So what you want to do is you want to stand here and you want to do what's called staging. You get to cover and you look at what's happening and you look at what's going on your team. Right now, your Luna's dead. So honestly, I would probably just throw your shield and, like, kind of chill. You could do a soft engage where you slam here and then jump out this way. But really, you just want to wait because your team is already dead. So that is just... Staging is basically you set up, you take in information from what is your team doing, what is their team doing, and then you do an action based on that, okay? So since we don't do that, we just kind of get to our position and immediately jump in without realizing that our Luna is already dead and our Invis is about to die, right? What's up, Caesar? How's it going?
These come in real handy.
All right, so let's see. Now we have another engage. I like that we're using side paths. We're getting health bars, right? Health packs, so that's good. We see a half-dead Luna. This is a great opportunity. You throw your shield and you slam on her, but we don't have the right target priority here.
These come in real.
I'm not sure why we don't pick the right target. Here, like, target priority can be kind of a tough thing to do, but basically you... Oh, I think the music's way too loud, isn't it? My bad. Oh, no, it's not. It's fine. Headphones just turned up. So when you go for your target priority, you want to take you want to choose whichever person that you attacking them is going to generate the most value. The highest value you can possibly get is securing a kill, because then that gives your team a numbers advantage, right? You'll be fighting 6 people on your team versus 5 on their team. So when you see somebody who's half dead, like, let's just reverse the roles. Let's say Luna is standing here and she's full health, but this Moon Knight is this low. This would still be probably the right person to kill, because there's a chance you could just show up and delete them if you do your animation cancels right. Belif? I don't think I've ever heard of that word on T. So you're kind of playing Cap more like a dive DPS, which is just not really... This is not really what he does. So Cap is... Let's see. How do I explain this? Cap is one of the few characters, basically all of the dive tanks are characters that you can actually escape out main. So you keep showing up, you'll do some damage, and you actually did get this Thor killed because you got people to turn around, right? Which is great, but the way you get out is you actually want to slam here and then jump over and then jump back to your team. One of the essential parts that you're missing out on here by living on health packs is you're robbing your supports of ult charge. Look at their supports. They're at 19 and 26. Yours is at 11 and 16. Granted, they died, so that's not all your fault, obviously. But you are a tank, so you are the main source of ult charge for your supports. So get in here, do some damage, and then you actually want to go out towards your supports to give them that ult charge. The new animation canceling Cap is so much easier. I mean, I really don't think it changed much. So yeah, this is another downside of like not really knowing the map and knowing that you can get out to your supports. You completely isolated yourself. So even if these supports were alive and paying attention, they can't heal you because you cut off line of sight voluntarily. The next thing I want to talk about, if we're talking about Cap, there's just so many like micro things that you can do with him. I guess we'll get to there when we get to there. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me. We're gonna jump into practice range. I think that'll be the best thing to do here. And let me just show you how you should approach attacking as Captain America. So, man, we're just gonna do like a full Cap tutorial real quick, okay? I'll try to make this as quick as I possibly can. So the number one thing is you need to make sure you have your sprint on toggle, right? So settings or change to Cap. Make sure this is on hold to dash. Make sure that's off. So all you have to do is press shift, and then no matter what, if you're walking forward, you're sprinting, right? We kind of already talked about this, but when you engage, this is how I like to engage. You start with that, and then you slam on them, and then you go into your animation cancels, okay? So now let's talk about your animation cancel. So you need to have two things bound. You need to have your primary fire, which is usually left click, which if you don't know, that is how you throw your shield without the, but I have it bound to F, without the tracking one, without that one. So that's your primary fire. And then you need to have your quick melee. Quick melee is, even though I have the shield throw, you see how it's blue at the bottom? It's not using them because I'm still just quick melee, okay? So you can still do the old animation cancel with quick melee, like this. And you see I attack way faster than if I just press left click. So you still do more damage with the animation cancel, and if you have it on like like I have it on the side button on my mouse, you can actually just spam it while you're running forward at somebody, and you'll get it pretty fast. So that's the animation cancel. You need to switch between quick melee, and then if they're far away, then you do your primary fire where you throw the shield, right? So practicing that is actually like so essential to Captain America. Being able to do both of those is absolutely necessary to getting value with this character. So start by learning just the run forward at people animation cancel, right? You just button mash the quick melee, you do damage, you get people, get stuff done, right? Now I want you to mix in these. So once you get the right underneath the cursor, the shield throws, right? Once you get those, I want you to be able to jump and still do damage while you're moving around. Because it's pretty easy if a cap is right in your face to do damage to him. Like, look at my health bar because I'm right in front of them. They're just shooting me. It's pretty easy. Now try shooting a Captain America who's doing this to you, and you're just going to be so much harder to hit while still doing damage. And then you weave both of those in. So if you notice somebody's like distracted, like let's say this is a healer, right? If this healer is distracted, they're trying to heal their tank, then it's a great time to go behind them and just start beating up on their back. Then they turn around, then we can start jumping and doing this and staying mobile again while still doing damage. It's really difficult. This is why Cap is like one of the hardest characters to play and get value, because you have to do all of this just to get like the same amount of value as like a Venom who literally just like punches their face. But it's really important. The last thing I want to say is there is a way to alternate your abilities. It's a cooldown rotation is what it's called, right? So when you engage, we already talked about, you throw your shield and then you slam down, right? I actually messed it up. The way you want to think about it is you always want to have a cooldown to get out, okay? So you should throw your shield, dash, do some damage, and then let's say I need to get out. Then you use your shield bash, the one that goes forward. Let's see, what is it called? Your Liberty Rush, right? I have it bound to right click. You have it bound to something else. But you use that to get out. And then you jump over people and get out. So it's just a cycle, right? You jump in with the shield slam, you slam on top of them, and then you jump up, and then you go vertical and shield dash out, shield bash out, right? That's how it works. The last thing I want to talk about is like, if you've already used that, right? You've already used it, but you're still taking damage. Now we need to talk about the tech of being able to have your shield up, running at full speed, and going backwards, okay? So here's the enemy. I need to go that way because my team is over there, okay? So what you have to do is you have to look to the direction you're going to go, press forward and jump, and then turn back around like this. And what this does is you're going to block damage still because you have your shield up. You're going to be jumping, so you're harder to hit for the enemy team, right? You're going to be moving full speed because if I'm just walking backwards, I don't get the sprint. If I'm running forwards, I do get the sprint speed, right? So this does so much. It's going to increase your survivability. It's also going to give you access to both of your movement abilities. Because if you do your shield bash, and you hit somebody, you see I didn't get the full distance, right? If I'm on the ground, I don't have access to the diving strike. If I'm in the air, I do. So if I'm going like this, right? At any point, I can just go like that and then completely mix up the enemy team. So those are like very essential tech skills to Captain America. I'd spend some time in the practice range. Make sure you learn them. You know them well. You know them by heart. Now let's go back in and let's look at that last engagement, and we'll try to explain like how this should have gone. Okay. Let's go to, I think this is a little too far. Right here. Go to here.
All right.
So here we are. We're setting up. I don't mind this. We're going to stage. Show up here. We're taking a flank. Not bad. Now let's take a second. We see there's a Luna here. I would have paused right here, look through the wall and see, okay, my team is about to engage. Right? We have team here, team here. It looks like they're engaging, so this is go time. That's great. So we're jumping in, and now we see there's a Luna, so I'm going to throw my shield. I'm going to bash. I'm going to start doing damage. Get frozen. It happens. Now we don't have to worry about freeze. So now we're taking a ton of CC. So at this point, we wouldn't have our diving strike. I would jump here, use my bash to get to about here, land in cover, and right here, check it out. My Luna can see me, and I'm going to stand here. The enemy team can no longer see me because I've broken line of sight, and I'm giving my Luna ult charge. This is how you use his abilities, right? Instead, we go off a health pack, but we have no escape plan to get all the way back out, so if somebody chases us down, we're just being vulnerable. That's really funny, Caesar. So yeah, this whole engage is caused by not knowing how cap works and like the cooldown reduction, the cooldown rotation. So let's just jump in here and let's say like this is the scene that we jumped into. Here you can definitely finish people off with the shield throw or the bash. We use our dash in order to get in instead of the bash, and so now we use both of them, so now we're just like 100% dead. Nothing you can do here.
You think I'm too old for this?
It's because the micro is so essential to cap. Like, you can't do the macro of cap and Hulk unless you have the micro. You just have to. There's very few characters like that. There's like Torch, Spidey, Cap, Hulk, probably Black Cat, kind of Gambit, things like that. Like, you have to know the micro before you can do anything. It's true. It's true. It's true. Okay, so now let's talk about uptime. So here, look at all the time that your team is fighting 5v6, where you're just kind of jumping around. By the time you get into the fight, your team's already dead. So really understanding your cooldown rotation and how you do things, that will allow you to get a very high uptime where you're always doing damage. You're always a menace on the enemy team's backline. You're always like taking up resources from the enemy team. Yeah. It's time to get out now. Bro, what? Okay. They just used 2 support ults. Just get out. Like, this is a great opportunity for your team. Get out. Don't die. No, don't do this. Give your supports ult charge. She's at 84. She's at 96. Just let him have the ult charge. Yeah, you're playing like a... Okay. Let me explain something real quick, okay? Every map in this game is laid out in the exact same... with the exact same idea in mind, okay? So if we go here... And let me whip out my drawing, okay? This is how every single map in this game is laid out. You have left, you have main, and you have right, okay? Every single map, I promise you. The way that you're playing, you're taking either left or right, and you're playing on a flank, and you're going all the way around, and then you're attacking here, right? That's what you've been doing here. You did it on this side as well. You went on the left, and you came all the way around, and then you attacked back on main. And if you're confused, this changes course, right? So this goes like this, and then left is still here, main is still here, right is still here, okay? Every map in the game is laid out like this. And you've been taking these long flanks. That's not what Captain America wants to do. Captain America, ideally, he wants to run right down the middle, use some cover, and then attack here, and then run right back in. He has like this weird type of path where he kind of like floats down the middle, does some damage, comes back in the middle, and then he weaves in these side paths every once in a while to like pick up a health pack and then get back to his team. That's how you want to do it. All this time that you're spending like on these deep flanks, I have to watch this. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Bro, how do you miss this? How do you miss? That's hilarious. Okay. But yeah, you don't want to be on these side flanks this far. This is much better. This is a much more direct route. We're taking up attention. We're saying, hey, look at me. I'm going to do things, right? I'm a tank. Oh, wow. Okay. So if this happens to you in your game, you actually engage like really well here. This is great. So you jump in, we throw our shield, we land with our shield slam, and we start doing damage, right? Now we have to look at our health bar as a tool. Our health bar is going down a lot. Now that tells you I need to jump. I need to be jumping. I need to be turning. I need to be shielding. And I need to be using my abilities to get back out to my supports. We don't really respect that. So if this happens to you and your health bar goes from like basically full to nothing in half a second like this, that tells you you need to shorten your engagement times. Or more accurately, since we're still figuring out cap, that means you engaged at the wrong time. So why did our health bar go down here, right? Look at our team. We have 3 people here, 1 2 3 versus 1 2 3 4, right? So this is a numbers advantage for the green team. As we dive in, our team realizes that and backs out. Now we're fighting 1v4. Why is our team backing out? It's because we have an ulting Thor in our backline, right? And we're down a support already. So understanding like the big picture of like when you attack, what's going on, is your team getting screwed over in their backline? Can you peel a little bit? Because Cap actually can peel a little. Cap can frontline, he can peel, he can dive. He's most effective when he's bouncing between those. Yeah. So this is also really frustrating because I do see your point where like every time you're doing something, your supports are dead. That's true. That happens. This Luna shouldn't be frontlining. However, just because your teammates are bad doesn't mean that the enemy teammates are also bad. These people are just as bad. They're in the same elo. The other thing is you can't control this Luna. You can't take over the character and make sure she doesn't die. So try not to get like lost in the sauce of the game and be like, oh man, my supports are terrible. They're always dying. Like, yes, that's true. Some games are just unwinnable. This may be one of those, but even in those unwinnable games, we're still making mistakes and things we can learn from. So try to just focus on what you can do and what your job is. So now there's no reason to go in. You're already down 2 supports. Yeah, just get out. Get out. Oh, no. This is bad. So one of the best parts about playing Captain America when you have bad supports is twofold. You're not 100% reliant on your supports. You have the mobility, you have the health pool, you have the bonus health, you have the shield. You can get to health packs, you can use cover, you can be extremely mobile, right? So you're not super reliant on supports in the way that like a main tank, like a Magneto or a Emma or a Groot, how they're reliant on their supports. And to take it a step further, you have a mini support ult. So if you have 2 supports who have been using terrible ults, Captain America is like great at bridging that gap, but you have to use it in the right scenario, right? If there's like an enemy support or an enemy ult going on that's high threat, you can use Captain America's ult as a support ult. You can also use it as a support ult to engage and do things. But it has to be the right time, right? Like, so right now, we're down a DPS. They're down a tank, right? We're down both of our supports. So if we look at literally just the numbers right now, it's 3 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 3 versus 5. This is a losing fight for you guys. Now, if you waited 10 seconds, here they come, here they come, here they come, here they come. And then you start your ult. Now, right? Now your people are back. And look, your ult is gone. So literally, if you wait 10 seconds and ult here, you're going to get so much more value just from the numbers game alone. So let's look at... yeah.
You can always count on me, partner.
So look at what you did though. I do want to make a point of like, now that you have a support ult, you're actually kind of playing correctly. You're jumping up and down. You're on main. You're doing damage. You're making yourself hard to hit, and you're forcing the enemy team back, even though you're down on numbers. Like, this is how you should be playing all the time as Captain America. Because if you're here, if you're fighting here, ideally, you've waited for your supports to be in. They're going to kill this Thor, and look what happens. They turn the corner, and now they're healing you because you're on main. And then you immediately run away from your supports. And now they can't heal you anymore. I don't think so. Nice, nice. Okay, you have the animation canceled. Nice. Well, okay. Yeah, you're just... you're doing so well in these, like, minimal scenarios, and then you go for, like, deep flanks. So with this, you just really don't want to use these abilities to, like, get a kill. Nice. You're playing so well now. And then you go on a flank. So part of Captain America... Part of the threat of playing against the Captain America is the enemy supports are going to have somebody on them the whole game that's just like tickling them and beating them up and pulling their attention away from the front. So if you're on the side flanks, you're not doing that like, look at me thing, right? Nobody can see you, so you're not pulling attention away. Attention in this game is an important resource to manage both your own attention and to take up the other person's. Oh. Yeah, you gotta shorten these engagements. Like, your job is done here. You've already gotten the Mantis to half health. You've pulled all of these people away from the front line and given your team a huge advantage up here. So now, it's like, all right, I did my job. I'm gonna just jump over here, get back out, get some healing, wait for my cooldowns to come back. And, like, look how much space you've made for your team. But we overstay our welcome. We don't realize that we've already gotten the value that you desire, and we stay in because we're bloodthirsty and we want to kill the Mantis.
I am ready to put on a show. They've made it halfway. Stop them.
I don't even mind this right now because they have a support ult. Okay, support ult's over. Now go in. Go in, go in, go in, go in. Yeah, a little too early. So something I do want to pay attention to, since we're talking about like the micro cap, when you throw the shield, you have to make sure it hits first. So you can see it since we slowed it down here. So this is a very rare scenario. Most of the time you could do it exactly as you did because the shield goes really fast. But because we're jumping from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor, it doesn't quite hit. So we miss out on the damage. So do be careful of that. Make sure the shield hits and then activate your bash. I don't mind getting the health pack. No. Now you're just dead. Okay, this is where that tech of like looking back towards the enemy would really help.
Only 60 seconds left.
So if you look at your damage, if you implement all the things that we've talked about, your damage is going to be so much higher. I promise you. Sounds good, Libra. We'll get yours next. Happens. Okay. We're even now. Good. That was great. That was fantastic. That's a terrible Luna ult. So what do we do, right? We had a terrible support ult, so now you know you're going to have to save your ult as a support ult because you can't rely on them. Nice. Okay, if you don't have either of your movement cooldowns, you have to get out. I don't even mind that you used your movement cooldown here to get the health pack. I think it saves your life. It denies the enemy of having it, and then you can keep going, right? But you have to recognize that, like, you have no cooldowns. So I would use the reverse shield sprint thing where you jump up and then shield back this way. Jump up, shield back this way, land here, wait half a second because at that point you'll probably have this dash back and then go in again. Bro, see, because we did that, we were either going to die or we have to use our ult, right? And now because our ult is forced out, we're not going to have it for these two ults. And these two ults are going to come in and kill our team because these people don't have ults anymore. Oh, we're so lucky the Thor is bad. You're so lucky the Thor is bad. Nice. So part of the animation cancel on cap is whenever you can mix it up. Remember how we talked about how you mix up the jumping and throwing the shield? The other time you mix it up is if somebody's just slightly out of range like this, now you go back to the primary fires instead of the full animation cancel. Because now you're throwing the shield and you're still getting the damage, even though they're just like slightly too far. They're portaling. You can't cancel a portal, so I just go back to point here. Yeah, so this is another bad habit. You've been using your F as a way to like get kills. I would almost never suggest that. Almost never. Obviously, there's some scenarios where I've done it, but like, it's rare, and you're just gonna leave yourself vulnerable. Bro, what? How did this Luna die? Excuse me?
Some bad guys.
That's insanity. Okay. This has been a weird VOD, man.
They hit a checkpoint.
Bro, I did the same thing, King Autism. I did the exact same thing as you. And I went 1 and 3.
My turn to stop them.
You do a great job, Jake. Thank you.
Sniper.
Better stop that vehicle.
And now they're on cap 2. Interesting. Yeah, so this is just bad uptime. We're not doing anything. We're not getting our ult charge. We're not taking damage for our supports to get their ult. Oh! This game could use a kill screen summary. That'd be nice. So we're playing on the bad side again. We're not respecting the map. We're not going back when we have no cooldowns. We've already used both of our movement abilities and we're half health. Here, your only option here, because of our bad play earlier, is to just jump back and let your supports get some ult charge. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Down to 30 seconds. Anyone willing to help? I like the code.
So I don't. Yeah. So Auntie, I assume that's what you're talking about on the last life. Yeah, that's what they would do to get back out. So here, I don't recommend going in with your shield up because I use the shield to get back out. Sometimes it can be nice, but now something we haven't really talked about yet Oh my goodness. Hang on. Did I see that right? I did, yeah. Your supports are trying to heal you. They're trying to help you, and you're like actively making it harder. So let's talk about this for a second, though. When you're playing any dive character, you need to be holding tab and checking who you're diving on the enemy team and what CC abilities do they have to stop you, right? So there's Luna, she has freeze. There's Widow, she has her like weird kick CC pull thing that's super annoying. Mantis has sleep. Hawkeye does a lot of damage, so that's something to be aware of. And then he also can like push you away. Okay, so that's 4 things on the enemy team that we need to be aware of. If there's that many, then we have to find a smart way to bait them out. The best way to do that is by doing what's called a soft dive. So there's soft dives and there's hard dives. This is a hard dive. You're going in, you're attacking actually, this is kind of a soft dive. But a soft dive is where you dive in quickly, you maybe do a tiny bit of damage, and then you get back out very quickly. You just show up, do something, get out. That's a soft dive, okay? Your positioning here is actually perfect for a soft dive. I would just slam right here and then get out. And what that does is it's going to bait out some of these cooldowns, okay? You dive in and you notice like you didn't even have to do anything and the Widow already used her kick, like immediately. Okay, so you can actually take advantage of that. You show up, pop, and then they use their kick, and then you get out. And here's the thing with all of these like long cooldowns, or all of these heavy CCs, they have long cooldowns, much longer than all of Cap's cooldowns. So if you dive in, you use your cooldowns, you get back out, you get out of freeze, you get out of kick, you get out of sleep, something like that. And then you wait for your cooldowns to come back. You give your supports a little bit of ult charge, and then you dive in again. And then you do a hard dive, okay? That's going to help you so much. We get back out, get some health. Actually peel a little bit. Nice. So you have 2 options here. You're not going to get a kill. You're just not through a Mantis support ult or pretty much any support ult as Captain America. So if you're close to your ult, you can slam down here and you could just start doing your animation cancels, taking some damage, giving your supports their ult charge, and getting your ult. You're not really close to that. And there is another option here, right here, is you see people who are kind of far back. Right here. You see? He went the wrong way. I would dive on him, and you're either going to kill him if he stays back, you're going to force him to go forward into the support ult, which is close to ending, right? We only got 5 seconds left. Or you're going to force the support ult backwards, which is going to give space to your team. Those are your 2 options. You either find somebody who's not in the support ult and you go after them, or you go into the support ult, get yourself some damage, get yourself some ult charge, get your teammates some ult charge. Nice. Okay, support ult is over. Now your target should be Luna, because she's next up for her support ult. Okay, Luna's dead. Now you should try to kill Mantis. So another micro thing you can do here, it's part of the fun of Cap and his shield, is you want to try to read when the enemy Mantis or Luna, when they're going to use their CC, right? When they're going to use freeze or sleep. Most of the time you can dive in like this, hit them twice, and then pop up the shield. And if you did it exactly like that, you would reflect it and you would actually sleep the Mantis because you reflect it right back in their face, and then you can just kill them. It's so satisfying. If you get good at it, you'll be so hooked. Part of it is also mind gaming people. Absolutely. And like we're at low diamond, so they're all gonna have the same tempo, but higher up, people will start like either instantly doing it or they'll wait until the shield goes down and then they'll freeze you. Yeah. It's a fun part. Okay, you're at 94%. You need to be standing over here, throwing your shield and getting your ult. Right now. This is known as conditioning. Yeah. Absolutely. I wonder how many people have overlap. Oh my Lanta. Ult, 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 no! Okay, so remember when I talked about Cap having a support ult? When you hear a Hawkeye ulting and you have your ult and your team doesn't, and you're paying attention because you're holding tab and you see that they don't have their ult, bro, you gotta ult here. You gotta ult, and then you also have to instantly fly back to your team and make sure they don't die. There's no excuse. This needs to be an ult.
Ready to put on a show. Invisible?
I wonder how much of a overlap there is between the FGC and like competitive players here, actually in the Discord. Marvel vs. Capcom. Oh, interesting.
I'll be shipshape in no time.
This is fine. I'm not even gonna say anything on this. Okay, now once again we're way too deep. We're way too far.
A nice deep freeze.
I like the momentum here, but yeah, you're just so deep. You're so far removed from your team.
Sorry, soldier. Can't beat battlefield medicine.
So, yeah, once again, if we go back to what we said at like the very beginning, right? Man, this map is hard to draw colors on because everything just kind of blends in. You have left, you have main, sorry. You have left, you have main, and you have right. Cap plays here, bounces around, and then comes back in. This is what Cap does. You're currently way over here. There we go. You're playing way over here, and then you attack here, and then you go out, and then you go way over here. You're in all the wrong areas. A lot of float like a butterfly, not enough sting like a bee. That's a good way to put it.
My anger is healthy. Now I see them. A nice deep freeze.
Much better. Now you're in the fight. You're being active. Get back out. Good. That's exactly what it should look like. That's amazing. You took so much damage. If you're taking damage as a tank, that means your team is not taking that same damage. Especially with the way Captain America looks. Works. They're looking up at you, bouncing all around, doing this. They're not shooting these people. Look at all the full health bars over here. This is great. This is exactly what you want to do. Now you jump back. Now these people are going to start healing you and they get their support ults. Like, this is exactly how it should work. And then you stop. What is Tokon?
Keep up the momentum.
I have no idea what that is. Here we need to be doing the retreating shield dash. Marvel Tokon is the new Marvel fighting game. Oh, made by Guilty Gear. Oh, interesting. Is it a platform fighter or is it just a 2D fighter? 'Cause I can mess with platform fighters. I can't really do 2D fighters. There's not me. 2D tag fighter with sheer health bar? Oh, okay.
These come in. Hope I make the cut.
Get back to your support ult. Yep, that's fine. Just get... You're at 97. Yeah, just get your ult. Good. Great. I think you had the right idea there.
You tried to do this.
Ultron's not really the character you can go.
Can't beat battle.
Bro, you played that so well. You played that so well. So much better than like anything we've seen. I think we need to work a little bit on our animation cancels and like actually getting consistent damage, but your positioning and your decision making here was so much better. You gave your team a way better chance of winning. Unfortunately, we had 2 support ults and like we're already so staggered at this point in the game that it was just too little too late. But like if you play every life like that from the beginning, you're gonna be so much more effective. Now here it's like we kind of panic and run in immediately. Everybody on your team is dead, homie. Like, they're all in spawn. They're all waiting. You have to wait until this gets as far as you possibly can. And then you dive in at the last possible second to give your team time to either portal or respawn or do stuff.
The fat lady isn't singing.
Like, look how much time you had. You had enough time to die and fully respawn. And now there's a Squirrel Girl ult. If you had touched right here, maybe now there's a chance, right?
The fat
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
ship in no time.
We are
Nice.
undefeatable.
Okay, just back out. Respect the space. This is why we need to back out, okay? So I just made a YouTube short about this of like what space is, but basically space is any area that your team can occupy and walk through without taking damage. So right now this is your guys' space, that's their space, but now they have a support ult, right? So they're not going to take any damage. So you can no longer contest this. This Mantis is going to walk forward with her team and your team has to respect it and get back to here. Part of being a tank is leading your team. And so if you literally just say get out or you get out and you shield slam all the way back to here and you take a defensive position, your team's going to back up as well. I promise you they will.
Sorry, soldier.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Good. I don't mind that. I don't mind this. Excellent. You're playing on the front. Good. Get out. Nice. We overstayed our welcome just a little bit, but we had the right idea here. Just incorporate those jumping shield throws, and things will be a little bit easier. But you had the right idea. Much better engagements. Bro, your Luna is 1. Go help your Luna. Like, go stand in front of your Luna right here. Be a shield. Be a tank. Even for half a second. Just for half a second.
Don't let anything stand in your way.
Yes. I believe so. I don't mind this. This is fine. Get out. Yeah. I like the idea here. Execution is just bad. You gotta shorten your engagements. Don't hang around.
All right. Don't rush in.
Yeah. It'd be like that. Okay, so they... Our invis... This is fine because there's a huge threat. Now we're back here. Get out. Get out. You're not gonna get a kill. They have a support ult. Go. Good. A little too late, but at least we did get out. I think part of this last
Stay down.
thing is just respecting, understanding like where the momentum is in the game.
That's the
So
boost
close.
I needed.
This is your big chance.
Something that I haven't seen you do on defense this whole time is like the second you spawn, you can use both of your dashes.
I never.
the second you spawn. For the most part, on most maps, you're gonna get both of them back before you make it to point anyway. Yeah. So, I mean, if we're to wrap up everything, we went over a lot there. Number 1 and 2 things is know your cooldown cycle, right? Know your animations, know how to use that retreating shield, jumping, sprint, dash to get out, right? And then number 2 would be actually engage with the team at the right times and from the right areas. You're playing like a perfect, like a DPS flanker instead of a cap, right? So yeah, those would be the 2 big takeaways. And then there's tons of like micro and stuff that will take time to get down. Like, definitely go back, read chat. Chat is always giving good tips. And then try to write down all the micro stuff and like really iron those things out. Cap is like an insanely micro intensive character. So yeah, anyway, that's it for this VOD review. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. God bless. Catch you guys next time. Bye.